Hey, Mr. Wanksock, check out this news article. Oh, for fuck's sakes, I already told these cookjob reporters and the police. I just happened to bump into Ed Sheeran in the Aldi car park during my usual perfectly normal midnight stroll, and by that point he was already missing his pants. What? No, it's nothing to do with that. Look, the Poco F8 Ultra just leaked again, and it looks like yet another proper grade A banger. Oh, goody. In that case, I'm off to Aldi for some celebratory lard. Lard? I thought we had half a pack of lard in the fridge. Oh, no, I used all of that last week on Ed Sheeran. Talk about shivers. Right, well, that's probably me demonetized and also sued to buggery. And jingles, I guess. Tech Spurt Weekly. So everyone kind of expected Xiaomi to launch the Poco F8 Ultra in early 2026, almost a full year after the Poco F7 Ultra emerged. But recent web reports point to a premature Pocification, with the grand reveal supposedly happening before 2025 has even buggered right off. In fact, some internet chat even reckons it'll launch in October, but given that today is the 31st already, that seems about as likely as me growing a full head of hair and giving up the booze. Now, the Poco F8 Ultra is expected to be a rebranded Redmi K90 Pro Max, which recently launched over in China and looks every bit the spangly flagship phone at a price that isn't total bollocks. Now, just as the Poco F7 Ultra packed the best chipset of its time, Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Elite, the fresh Poco F8 Ultra will be powered by the new beefcake on the block, that's Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5. In fact, it's probably the early launch of Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 that then has had a roll-on effect and accounted for the early release of quite a lot of smartphones, including the Poco F8 Ultra. This latest Poco flagship should boast a splendidly capable camera too, headlined by a proper large 1/1.3-inch Light Hunter 950 sensor. Now, Xiaomi apparently helped to co-develop this sensor with its best bud and optics smart-arse Leica. At that sort of size, you can expect some pretty solid low-light photography. This is also said to be backed by a proper periscope telephoto shooter with 5x optical zoom, as well as an ultra-wide snapper. Now, the Redmi K90 Pro Max came packing a pretty ruddy massive battery, 7,650 milliamp hours, but sadly this is set to slim down somewhat for the Poco F8 Ultra. But those online leaks still point to a 6,500 milliamp hour capacity battery for the Poco, still pretty respectable, and it should fill up nice and nippy as well with 100 watt wired charging and 50 watt wireless charging. But it's not just the battery that is bigger for this generation of Poco, however. The phone itself is a ruddy whopper, sporting a massive 6.9-inch AMOLED screen, which makes the 6.67-inch Poco F7 Ultra look like a proper pipsqueak. And you can also expect a proper good stereo speaker arrangement with a quality bit of Bose fine-tuning, all wrapped up in an IP68 water and dust resistant design. And here's hoping that Xiaomi still manages to keep that price lower than a badger's ball bag. After all, this year's Poco F7 Ultra was just 650 quid when it landed here in Blighty, which is a proper good price for a premium bit of kit. So that's what we think we know so far about the Poco F8 Ultra, but what do you reckon? Is it a case of Poco blimey or Poco f*** yourself? Yeah, let us know down in the comments below. And now it's time for Uncle Spurt's Wee One. Uncle Spurt's Wee One. It's a short review, not his penis. And today I'll be banging on in a suitably succinct fashion about these catchily titled Sennheiser HDB630 headphones. Now, these support both aptX HD and aptX Adaptive, so as long as your phone isn't old and crap and supports them too, you'll enjoy a nice well-balanced full-bodied sound. Although you will want to piddle about with that parametric EQ in Sennheiser's Smart Connect app if you want some beefy bass action, otherwise those lows are weaker than a gerbil's fart. And hey, if you're one of them beardy, chin-stroking audiophile type people, well, no worries. Just bung this bundled BTD 700 transmitter into your device and you'll enjoy some proper fancy bollocks 24-bit 96kHz high-res audio streaming. It's all posher than a busload of Tories that just crashed into a Harrods. The battery life is bloody great as well. You'll enjoy roughly 60 hours of SD audio streaming, or around 45 hours of HD audio streaming, and that is with the ANC switched on. And the ANC is certainly good enough for commuting and travelling. It cuts down the worst of the background guff, whether you're on trains, planes, whatever. And if all of this hot audio chat has really peeled your spuds, well, no worries. The Sennheiser HDB 630s are available right now. Uncle Spurt, we won. It's a short review, not his penis. Alright, that's enough of that guff for another week. Now it's time for a delightful pick and mix selection of viewer comments. Viewer comments. So let's begin this week with Momo Michael. You read Momo, who says, "Oh God, I can't unsee the Eric Ten Hag." Yeah, neither can I, mate. How do you reckon I feel every goddamn time I look in the mirror? It's like one of those god-awful Bloody Mary curses. Anderson Natal says, "K Karaka Chato," which, it apparently translates as "what an annoying bald guy." How lovely. Oh, Jesus Christ, this lad has apparently commented on 28 of my videos, and every single comment appears to be some sort of variation on me being bald and or annoying. You know what? I really don't think this likes me very much. But seriously, this is borderline psychopathic. Anderson, mate, if you're watching, and you probably are, you weird bastard, just turn off the computer, step outside, take a nice breath of fresh air, talk to another human being, or just get some kind of hobby, please. You know, as much as I appreciate you boosting my view count and my ad revenue just to tell me that I'm bald and annoying, which, believe me, I know already, alright? Yeah, maybe think about the old mental health. Hey, that always comes first. Yuki Toyotomi says, "Playing lawn tennis with Himmler sounds appealing after a week at work." A bit of a rough week, I take it, fella. Well, your Uncle Spurt heartily recommends getting absolutely face. That seems to help. Will either help or it'll send you down a massive, horrific spiral of depression, one of the two. Bit of a coin toss, that one. Mohammed Atazada says, "Nothing to say really, just thank you for not drinking yourself to death and leaving us." Unfortunately, I am shooting this video just before I bugger off to the airport to head to Mexico for a few days to shoot some stuff. So by the time you're watching this video, by the time it goes live, inevitably I'll be slumped in the corner of some horrific, slummy Mexican bar, clutching a bottle of half-drunk mezcal to my bosom like it's an infant child. Jesse Boy 7951 says, "Not sure how relevant it is, but I saw a clip from Honor about a robot phone, basically a slab with a retractable camera gimbal looking mofo on top. They released a sort of a 2-3 minute trailer on YouTube all about this. Quite a cool idea. So basically, yeah, the idea is that the camera is actually on a gimbal and it pops out of the back end, and then it can swivel around a full 360 degrees. Quite handy if you, for instance, want to surreptitiously perv on random women in red dresses, apparently. And the entire thing is just a CGI pipe dream right now, but apparently Honor might be showing off some kind of crazy prototype at MWC at the start of 2026, so stay tuned for more on that potentially. Now, the last time I bothered to do one of these shows, I was banging on about the Nothing Phone 3A Lite, which has of course now fully launched, and in fact is clutched to my greasy mitts right here. And if you actually still care, my unboxing and review type video is live right now. Huzzah, huzzah. Champagne and hand jobs all round. And yeah, lots of correspondence on it as well. So PKM1010 says, "I thought Lite would be smaller. What is the point of another phone otherwise?" And so we've actually got quite a few comments about how the Lite phone should be a smaller one, not the same bloody size. So Void5151 says, 6 inches is mini. That's above average. Huge even. And the Big Cheese 6606 says, "Cole replied to your video on his channel saying he would love to do a small phone." Yeah, well, you know what they say, money talks and bullshit walks. Whatever that actually means. Intronic says, "No eSIM in 2025. I don't like eSIM, but I need it." Yeah, I mean, eSIM is just absolutely essential if you do any kind of traveling at all, because yeah, like it can't be asked to fanny around finding a local SIM after landing somewhere new. And certainly most roaming charges absolutely suck arse. So yeah, eSIM definitely the way forward. Okarimbi says, "Hey man, Vivo X300 review when?" Good news, the X300 has actually landed here at Spurt Towers, so hoping to do the full review of that basically once I'm finished with OnePlus 15 review, assuming that nothing else bloody launches in the meantime. And AllSinger1 says, random question, have any Samsungs you've had over the years had a swollen battery? No, the only time your Uncle Spurt has ever had a swelling issue, so to speak, was with my original Sony PSP. Annoyingly, I went and lost it when I was moving flat about, I don't know, like 20 years ago or whatever. Came across it like 2 years later, hidden down the back of a box, stuck away somewhere. I was absolutely overjoyed, whipped it out, flipped it over, and saw just the biggest bulge in the world. It basically had a back end like an altar boy, completely destroyed. Next up, Ryuno2097 says, Uncle Spurt, for a 50-year-old man, whoa buddy, gonna have to just stop you right there. I may look like a dehydrated husk of a human being with a spirit that is absolutely battered beyond repair, but I haven't quite hit the big 5-0 just yet. Anyway, Ryuno continues, for a 50-year-old man, if you don't want to see your body deteriorate further with so many body aches and hurt knees, you should start exercising. Let me just put it this way, the only people I know around my sort of age who've had any kinds of knee surgery are those fit motherfuckers who go out jogging and playing sports and stuff. Myself, I'm preserving my joints by moving only when absolutely necessary, for instance turning the camera on and off, lifting pints, scratching nuts occasionally. Now you come back and you watch Spurt Weekly episode 4973 and then see how my knees are bloody doing then, eh? And yes, because I do have to sort my shit out, pack my bag, do all the usual stuff you have to do before you piss off on a trip for a week. Better make this the last comment. Abigailitos says, so cool you are coming to Mexico, welcome, tequila time. I am genuinely excited about some proper grade A tequila out there, absolutely. Although, as soon as I told one of my friends that I was going to Mexico for a week, they immediately forwarded on me an article that said that apparently Mexico's been placed on some sort of list, some sort of meth warning list. So quite often you will get served meths instead of tequila or other white spirits. And you clearly see dumbass gringos like me coming a mile away and swap out the good stuff. But yeah, it makes me wonder what I was drinking when I was buggering about in Thailand like 25 years ago. I'd literally order like a kid's plastic bucket just full of alcohol for like, you know, £5. You know, I was probably drinking bloody terps or something. It's a miracle I've still got the power of sight. But anyway, thank you very much. Very much looking forward to Mexico. Stay tuned, as I say, hopefully on the Spurt Hall channel, I'll get a few sort of lifestyle-y, vloggy type things going live there. Mostly surrounding the alcohol that'll be thrown down my throat. But should be back hopefully in time to do yet another Spurt Weekly next week. So please do smash your comments down below. And speaking of next week, what the f is next week? So if I do survive tequila time, well, next week we've got a Red Magic embargo lifting on November the 3rd, so stay tuned for potentially some hands-on action with some new game and smartphone shenanigans. I've got a big old bloody tower of tech waiting to get a thorough see into, which I will do eventually, you know, if I'm not completely destroyed by Mexico, obviously. But anyway, a massive thank you for watching this shower of shit to the bitter end. You are true heroes, one and all. Please do subscribe, ding that notifications bell if you haven't done already, and have yourselves a bloody wonderful weekend. Cheers, everybody. Love you.